here with senior Chris Shelton to preview the 2016 cross-country season that's coming up here in middle of September. First you have an alumni run to get it started, but obviously this is a season where there's some transition with a new coach. It's been a while since somebody else has coached the cross-country and track programs here at Concordia. Why don't you just talk about what things have been like getting used to Coach Beisel and how that process has gone so far early in the school year?
Things have been great so far. I mean, everything, like you said, is just a transition. So it's getting used to just practice running a different way. Just teaches and coaches differently than Coach Heinsbar did. It's been great so far, though, getting to know him. You know, a lot of us didn't meet him until our first day on campus last Friday, which was also our first day of practice. But I think we've had 6 or 7 practices already, and they've all gone really well. And I think everybody's really having a great season so far, and we're hoping to do some big things. So,
I'm sure it was kind of a big shock for a lot of athletes. What was your reaction when you knew there was going to be a new head coach here?
We were definitely all pretty sad about it, pretty shocked. You know, we didn't really see it coming. We'd had, you know, Coach Heinsbar had been here for so long, like you said, and we had all just gotten to know him so well, and we had I think everybody had a really close relationship with him. So that was kind of hard, but then once we, you know, had to trust the athletic department that they'd find somebody good to replace him, to fill his big shoes, and I think everybody's pretty happy with Coach Beisel so far in doing that. So,
what are some of the things you've noticed as far as training? I mean, how is that compared? It sounds like you guys have gotten out a lot on the trails around campus already this past week.
I think training's gone really well so far. One difference is Coach Beisel likes to lay everything out for us the week before, have everything scheduled out, whereas Coach Heinsbar kind of just felt things out and went with the flow of things as we went. And I think, you know, both strategies definitely work, but I think we've already gotten a few really good quality speed workouts in, and a couple good long runs that everybody's really benefiting from, and you can see people already getting better. So.
Yeah, how about just the makeup of this team? I know there's a couple of freshmen, but what have you noticed about how people are progressing? I know it's really early so far, but what have you noticed about where people are at compared to where they were maybe at the end of last cross-country season?
I think we're going to be starting fairly similar to where we were at the beginning of last year's cross-country season. I think we've got a chance to finish a little better. I think some of the guys we've got, you know, last year we had a couple of freshmen, Thomas Taylor and Evan Ashe were both freshmen last year that made big contributions, and I think they both have a pretty good chance to make even bigger contributions this year. We've got guys like Pat Wortman and Colton Gapehart that are really coming on strong. Pat's a guy that had never done cross country before until he was a freshman, so this is only his third year running. I think he's finally really getting the hang of things. So I think he could have a really good season. And then even Taylor Mueller, you know, he's a 5th-year senior with no cross country eligibility, but he's still running with us. And it's just great to have him around, even though he can't compete, to just have some leadership and lead workouts and stuff and just help out. So.
What is your role, you know, as a senior, someone who's maybe looked up upon by the younger runners? How do you try to, I guess, instill the kind of work ethic and the kind of things you want to see from the younger athletes?
I just kind of try to lead by example, I guess. That's kind of always how I've been in high school and so far in college. I'm not a big, you know, don't do a whole lot of talking as far as trying to get guys fired up, but I try to just go out and do the right thing. And, you know, if you're just naturally a good leader, then people are going to follow your example. So, and just with the guys we got, we haven't had any problems really at all with that. So
you're the highest returner in terms of GPAC finish last year. What kind of goals do you have for yourself? I'm sure you'd like to move up in the conference.
I just really want to finish my career at Concordia on a positive note, whether that's becoming all GPAC or just, I think our main goal this year is to qualify the team for nationals, and that would mean a lot more than a personal, all GPAC honor, but that's kind of been our goal as a team. The big one is to qualify for nationals, because I think last year we were the first team out of nationals last year, the first or second team that didn't qualify out of the top 25. So that really kind of stung a little bit. So we've all been kind of using that as motivation, been talking about that. So I think as far as goals go, even personal goals, I think the team qualifying would be the big one. So
yeah, our goals really even something that's been talked about much yet with Coach Beisel? What are some of the biggest things that he's tried to maybe instill so far?
Yeah, goals have been huge so far. We've already set, even the beginning of the summer, the middle of the summer, when we first started being in contact with him, he started talking about personal goals. And this coming week, we're going to meet and talk about personal goals with him. And last week, actually, Monday or Tuesday, we already had a meeting about team goals and set the men's and women's teams both set our team goals and talked about those. So we definitely got a strong sense of direction as to where we're going and where we need to go already. So.
And last thing, how much pride do you take in just being part of a program that has tradition and that has accomplished a lot of things, and trying to keep that up at Concordia?
I take a lot of pride in it. I mean, Coach Einspar did a great job of building the programs here, the cross country and track programs, and really did a great job of helping out every athletic program here, especially when you look at our facilities. So I think Concordia is a school that everybody kind of knows about as a place that's going to be somewhere that has competitive, especially running programs, and I think it's just really important to myself and the team to kind of carry that on and make sure that, when we're competing against the other GPAC schools and other schools in the nation, that they recognize us for what we have been traditionally, and then, what we are competitively at the time, keep that going. So.